Hello there, Chazo here, back with another back workout video. You know my channel is all about longevity and safety. So it is prudent that before you start lifting heavy weights, you warm up the major body parts which are going to be involved in the compound movement you're going to do. Specifically for today, we're going to do deadlifts. But before I start doing deadlifts, I tend to warm up my back using a lat pull down. So here you can see I zoomed in on the weights because in my previous video, people were making inquiries as to how much weight I was lifting at the time. So I made it a point to point it out to my cameraman to zoom in on the weights I was lifting. As you can see, our machines, of course, need maintenance. I raised that issue with the manager of the gym, and he said he's going to work on it. As you can see, when I'm doing the ladder pull down, I make it a point to pull with my elbows as opposed to focusing on pulling with my arms. As you can see, before I start the movement, I initiate the movement with the body part I'm trying to work, which in this part is the lat. I make it a point to keep my chest upwards. This was my final set of the lat pull down. And remember, make it a point to warm up until you're sufficiently warmed up, but not to a point of exhaustion. Leave some energy in the tank so that you're able to leave some energy for the compound movement. Even when you start doing the compound movement, it is not prudent to kick it off with a heavy weight. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of warming up. When you're warming up, you're priming your body for the heavier weights that are to come. And I normally use the warm up just to practice my form so that when I go to my working sets, I've already mastered the form to the letter. But as you can see, I haven't deadlifted in a long while. That is why my form is a little bit work. It is all over the place. As you can see, my lower back has an arch. It is a shortcut to Snap City. So as you can see at the top, in some repetitions, I wasn't locking out my knees completely. But what was going on through my head when I'm setting up, I tend to use the bar to cut my foot in half. Once I do that, I hold the bar and try to bend it. You know, when you try to bend it, you're activating your lats. Your lats are one of the biggest muscles in your body. So when you're trying to bend the bar, your elbows are going to turn backwards, and this will ensure that your arms stay long. Like Bradley Martin said, your arms are supposed to be like ropes or hooks that are supposed to keep on being straight. The whole point of this is to protect your biceps from any tears. We've seen that if there is any bent movement, if your elbows are bent, most of the weight is going to be on the biceps. And as you know, a bicep is a very small muscle. So imagine having kilograms and kilograms of weight on a small muscle. It wouldn't end very well. The chances of getting injured are very, very, very high. So I would recommend to you all, take whatever time you need while you're setting up the movements, and make it a point to have a ritual that you're going to follow time and time again when you're doing a certain movement so that you don't get injured. What I need to point out is when you're doing a deadlift, it made some people think like you just hold on to the bar and just jack it up. Like many people say, you lift with your legs as opposed to lifting with your back. Initiate the movement by trying to push away the earth from you. Make it a point that you brace your back. When you brace your back, you're protecting your lower back. So when you're how to brace? When you're putting on a belt, make it a point to push your abdominal walls on the weight belt you're wearing. If you set up and you don't feel like your face is about to explode, uh, just know you're doing it wrong. Many over the top lifters confess that when they are deadlifting heavy, many a time they feel like their eyes want to pop out. Make sure you're as tight as possible. I cannot emphasize this enough. And make it a point that you don't overextend while you're at the top. I see many lifters trying to overextend at the top of the movement. But you see, the problem with that is that when you're overextending, most of the weight is being transferred to the lower back. And we know how vulnerable a lower back is, it can easily get injured. So I would recommend that at the top of the movement, make it a point not to overextend. And wherever your chest starts from, make sure you maintain that position throughout the entire movement. And when you're holding the bar at the top, just reverse the entire movement. And it is a very good tip that when you're deadlifting, make it a point to twist your feet. That will activate your glutes. We know the glutes are one of the strongest and biggest muscles there. The glutes are basically your bums. It's a fancy word to mean your buttocks. That is all. And I know my form is a little bit off the rails, but since I haven't been there lifting in a while, when I was in a gym, I felt like everything was going according to the plan. But when I went back to watch the footage, I realized that my form was all over the place. So I would recommend that you all should start filming your lift so that you can review it later on. We all know what we are supposed to do. And I recommend that when you're pulling, don't just jack the bar off the ground, pull the slack out of the bar. Many a time when I hear that sound just before someone pulls, you know they didn't pull the slack out of the bar. I know there's some professional powerlifters who are good at this, like Kyla Ulam. That guy is really good. He just explodes on the bar. But even the most explosive lifter like Larry Wills, he's explosive, but he pulls the slack out of the bar. We normally tend to miss it out because he's too fast. In a blink of an eye, he's really done. So that is it for today's video. But I would recommend that in case you have any critique of the videos I'm making, in case there is something I need to change, I hope that you should reach out to me